Good evening. We're going to come to order. Oh, maybe not. Sorry. Good evening. We're going to get started. I want to welcome you to the City of Williston's third budget workshop. Today is Tuesday, August 26, 2025 at 6:01 p.m. We're going to have roll call by Ms. Latricia Wright.
Mayor Goodman,
I am here.
President Hinds,
I'm here.
Vice President Cox,
Here.
Councilmember Jones,
Here.
Councilmember Martin,
Here.
Councilmember Riccio, she's running late. City Manager Sue Beaudet,
I'm here.
Attorney Kiersten Ballou, she's absent. Finance Director Stephen Bloom,
I'm here.
City Clerk Latricia Wright, I am here, and all other staff. Thank you.
We will now have the opening prayer and pledge of allegiance by Mayor Charles Goodman.
Join me if you choose. Lord, we're here today to do the business of our city. I ask you to be with each one of these council members, to give them the ability to see all the many difficulties in a budget. I ask you to give them the wisdom that they need to pass a budget for our city. And I ask you to be with each and every person who spent their life and came here tonight to see this process go through. In your name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much.
At this time, we'll have public participation.
Hey, my name's Joel Penny. So I've came to the council several times about the fence around the pit. I was wondering if the project to put the fence around the pit could be put on the budget, because they have been working on it. Well, he's been working on it for like 2 years. So could that be put on the budget tonight? Well,
Is that your final comment?
Yeah.
Okay, so we won't be having discussions. At this time, no, it will not.
why will it not
tonight.
be? He's worked on it for 2 years, and he's asked to be put it on the budget. And
it doesn't need to be.
okay, well,
We can do it without it being on the.
it's not what I was told by the city manager. It needs to be put on the budget.
Talking about a fence around the entire thing, or
Yes,
just,
ma'am.
just a little spot you've been
Around-
talking about for the last time?
Around the entire thing.
Okay, well, that's totally different than what you said the last
No,
couple
it
of days.
wasn't. I was talking about the whole thing.
Well, since this is our first time hearing it,
It's not the first time hearing it. It's been
as
several
far
months.
as it being having to be put on the budget, this is my first time hearing it.
He's worked on the project for 2 years to have the fence
That's not
put
what I
up, and
just
it's not
said.
been done.
For it to be on the budget, this is our first time hearing anybody request for it to be placed on the budget.
Donald.
Can you who is he?
Donald.
Okay, thank you.
He has, I haven't heard about it.
Well, I've been in a meeting with him, and he has. And I've talked to the city manager, and there has been talk about it for the past 2 years. So I would like something done about it.
Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment? You have 5 minutes. Anything that's not on the agenda. If none, we will move forward. Item 3, review of the revised budget 2025-2026 and budget-related matters. Finance Director Stephen Bloom.
Okay, good evening. This is obviously your third and final workshop, but I did want to remind everyone that now we will have the 2 public hearings. So again, and I'm just going to read the dates for you. September 12th at 6 p.m. Will be the first one, and then September 24th, also at 6 p.m. Again, they both have to be after 5 o'clock, so we are meeting that requirement. Those would be the final 2. In addition to that, you have on the 10th, you have to assign your meeting on the fire assessment as well. So just wanted to make sure everybody was good with that. In terms of the budget you have in front of you, it's still a balanced budget. All funds are balanced. We've made the not a ton of significant changes. We moved the code enforcement officer position down. I even moved the whole department down right underneath the chief's section. We did some cleanup on some titles, just as kind of a refresher. We lowered the fireworks budget as well. And then we made, a couple other very small changes to clean up a couple formulas, including the team count page, making sure that the millage rate on the general fund, even though it was calculated at 6.75, wanted to make sure all that type of stuff was all clean and clear throughout the whole budget package. Otherwise, again, balanced, and this is your, your opportunity to kind of go through it, make any changes, and talk about anything you would like to.
So one of the things I just wanted to bring back from the last couple of meetings we talked about was Donald Barber's title. And I sent everybody the information that I received from Kim in HR. Again, on the staffing plan page, this is page 11 of the budget, we have it listed here as Public Works Administrator. Again, previously it was Public Works Supervisor. So I just want to make sure that we're okay with whatever we've got in the staffing plan, or if there's any questions that either myself or Donald can answer. Just want to bring that back to everybody's attention.
You're looking at me. Just a couple of things on the staffing plan while we're there. When you look at the staffing plan for the animal shelter, and you look at the animal shelter itself in the general fund.
28 for the animal shelter, and the staffing plan 5. The big 28, little 24.
The shelter.
5. $28 or 24, depending on what version you're looking at. Okay, I can ask. I think if you're alright. Yeah. It splits only 2 employees under the personnel services, a manager and an attendant, and yet in the staffing plan it lists 3.
Okay. So which one is it?
Microphone, please. 1 manager, 2 attendants.
Okay.
So I put a little 2 in front of it. The other thing that I did adjust in the newer version to make sure that position was full-time. There was a calculation. It was a small error in the calculation, but it is a full-time position, the manager. And
It shows that on the sheet.
Yep.
Are the attendants full-time?
the attendants are not. Both of them are part-time.
Now,
No, just the manager is full-time.
And so the 34,608, that's two salaries combined as one.
Yes.
That was not a.
Yeah, so the version I'm working on will have a 2 in the front of it, signifying that there's 2 animal shelter attendants.
I saw that the dollar amount was the same. Okay, mine says pay, so I don't know. This is a printed copy without all the front things on it. In the staffing plan under Public Works, which is the last page of the staffing plan, where it says Facility Worker 1 and Facility Worker 2, we actually flipped those before. But I think it flipped here, but it's not flipped on the get back. It is here, but not the other places. It has the salary the opposite than the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, let me make sure I got that.
The salary didn't get flipped.
Yep, I will correct that right now.
can we go back for just a second to animal shelter? I did want to ask you guys this. The salary that we're paying the manager at the animal shelter, I gotta find it again, but I think it was $16.39. It's going to be very difficult to find a really good manager for $16 an hour. So I wanted to bring that to your attention and see if maybe we could do something a little higher than that, maybe $20 an hour or something else. But I mean, I think that's probably the lowest paid manager that we have in the city of Williston at $16.39 an hour.
Absolutely. I feel like the animal shelter manager is going to have to be really good at paperwork, really good at animals, really good at coordinating with veterinarians, animal control, police department. It's going to have to be good at a lot of things. So now I'm probably somebody who can do the job as well as like that. I mean, it's going to be hard. So.
I think that number is wrong on the staffing plan, because it was my understanding that the shelter manager's pay was $35,000. This says $27,293.
Yeah, I tried to find part of her salary somewhere else, but I could not. Because it said 100% on the back.
Yeah, that was when I said earlier there was a small formula issue.
Right.
It's full time. I've already made the adjustment. It's actually $34,086. The $16.39 is correct.
You should go to like 18 or something.
I mean, in my business, I pay basic labor rates of almost $7 an hour for somebody who doesn't have to do any paperwork. So, or budget or anything like that. Just show up and follow a to-do list.
You good with $16.39? You're good with $16.39?
I mean, I agree. It needs to be a little higher. But I also know back in the day that you were paying managers to run restaurants for what we're paying today on here. So we need to do something with it, because if not, we're going to have a revolving door of managers.
I'm good with $20 an hour. Yeah, 18 is
Which would be what? How much per year? What's the difference between 18 and
18 is 37,440, and then let's see what it's 41,600. So the difference is a little bit under $42. Again, that's between $18 an hour and $20 an hour.
So should we compromise in the middle? Do 19. What should we do? Let's do something.
I'm good with 20.
I'm good with 20.
Mr. Cox. You good with 20? Is there?
All right.
So we increased to $20 an hour.
That's my last question.
That was it for you guys?
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry.
That for you guys? For you? Nothing? In staff plan? Alright, so we'll go back to, let's see, when she initially spoke about the administrative assistant, public works administrator for Donald Barber. As I stated the last time that we were here, okay. As I stated the last time we were here, the organizational chart showed Mr. Barber as supervisor of public works, and of course, he advised us that he was made administrator prior to Mr. Bovard leaving. My concern with the public works administrator is if he's still, why the change in the title, one. And Mr. Barber, if you would like to come and speak to that, why the change in the title, if nothing with his job is going to change, he's not over any other department or anything like that. What's the need to change the title?
Don, can you speak to that? Since you were here with Terry.
So I don't believe I'm asking to change it. It was changed by a city manager. As to the reasoning behind that, you could speak to the city manager. I believe it's because I have more of a role in administrative work than I do direct supervision over staff. And he classified supervisors as someone that's out in the field more, looking after and supervising work that's being done. I handle the resolutions, the ordinances, the RFPs. I mean, 90% of the work that I commit to is administrative work. I did not ask for the title change. I did not solicit a title change. It was something that was determined. What he communicated to the council, I can't answer to that. I was not privy to those meetings. I just know that it was changed. Staff knows it was changed. There's a PAF that was provided to council for it to be changed. There was no pay changed with it. It was simply changed. So I can't answer the question other than to tell you that's been my operating title. Y'all want to call me the garbage collector. It doesn't matter to me. I do the same job.
Thank you. Is Mr. Brevard on the line? If he would like to speak.
Would you like to speak, Terry? Stand by. Okay, you got the mic.
All right, very good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for providing me the opportunity to attend here tonight. Speaking to what Mr. Barber said, as far as his position title change, I don't recall the conversation that we had. I know supposedly there's a PAF under my signature that indicates there's a title change. However, it was on the same PAF and where I gave Mr. Barber additional $1 an hour for a certificate that he had. And it may very well be something that I overlooked and did not pay attention to the path that indicated a position or title change. But when I left there, it was my intentions and the understanding of everybody there that there was 3 supervisors in utilities, one under electricity, one under gas, water, septic, fiber, and one under streets and parks. And and their pay is indicative to their responsibilities to the city of Williston. So it may very well be my mistake that title change happened. I don't know that it is or is not. I don't recall that conversation. I'm not doubting anybody as far as my signature goes. But like I said, it may have been something I merely overlooked. However, when I left on February the 28th, and the time before that, before the organizational change that I presented to y'all and that we all discussed and proved was the organizational change that I left of utilities with the incoming new city manager.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Ballou?
This is Debra. When I look at the staffing plan, the way I look at it, I'm now seeing 4 supervisors instead of 3. I'm seeing parks, roads, and facilities. I'm seeing what's called field operations, which I assume is water, gas, and sewer. I am seeing electric and the administrative position that we are talking about now, Public Works Administrator. So we actually ended up with 4. And I think that's because Alex got moved after you left. I think Donald had that. No? Donald's shaking his head.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so we ended up with 4 instead of 3. If Alex moved before you did, before you left, was Alex the supervisor when you left?
So we moved Alex into a supervisory position because of the complexity of the water, gas, sewer, and currently fiber that's within that utility. And so it was a lot for one individual person such as Mr. Barber, even as good a job that he does do, to handle. So the reason why Alex was made a field supervisor was to giving him the authority, and I'm going to be quite honest here, giving him the authority and the duties in which, quite frankly, he was already doing.
Right. Yes,
so
I agree with that.
It was important to give him the title. It was not my intention, or would it ever be, to have 4 different areas. So I would say that once again, if you look at the utility structure, it would be the 3 departments plus Mr. Barber would have the only person in his department would have a supervisor working underneath him.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you for that, Mr. Ballou.
Yes, ma'am.
So now I guess at this point we need to just decide, are we going to keep the title as Public Works Administrator or move it back to Mr. Barber's title back to where it was initially stated as supervisor. Sure.
If we just look down the road, let's say 5 years from now, Mr. Barber has decided to, move to Hawaii, live on the beach, and we're looking to replace his position. I guess my question would be, if we were to advertise for that position, is it more an administrative job? Is what Mr. Barber doing now more of an administrative job, in terms of everything that you just described, or is it a job where we would expect that person to be out in the field working side by side with Alex? And if that's the case, what kind of conflict is that going to cause? Alex has been here for longer, but we've got a new person coming in. So anyway, I guess that would be my question: is if we were to go out and write a job description for what Mr. Barber does, is it more supervisory or is it more administrative? And that's how I think we should determine what the title is.
So, Mr. Brevard, when you were here, Mr. Barber's duties, what were they?
Well, of course, as y'all all know, he has all of Williston fiber, so that was a lot of his responsibility, in addition to his daily responsibility of gas, water, gas, water, sewer, and so. But like I said, it was always my expectation is that those three departments would be equal. I guess, just like he said, regardless of what you name him, my bigger concern, at least would have been for me at the time, is what did the organizational structure look like and who reports to who. When I was there, each individual department was told by me in front of the director that they would report to Jonathan Bishop, and in return, in his absence, they would report to me. There would be no number two person. So that they all had their own duties and specific responsibilities. Specifically, Mr. Miller cannot do what Mr. Barber does, and Mr. Barber can't do what Mr. Miller does. And the streets and parks, although it's the lowest paid managerial job in utilities, he's not expected to be responsible for anything in sewer or anything like that, or in electricity. And the reason it was done that way is because when you look at liability issues and concerns, you want to make sure that those individuals are in place and making the decisions where they have their licenses. And we're not the only person. I didn't just pull this idea out of the air. I called several different utilities, Ocala being one of them, and theirs are all run that way. So in my mind, this made the best organizational structure, for the city of Williston. So I expected his duties to, yes, there's a lot of administrative work that has to be done in his section because of the areas that he has control over. And yes, administratively, he does a lot of work when it comes to Williston Fiber. The offshoot of the whole organizational structure, in my vision going forward, would be that Williston Fiber would eventually come out on its own and be its own department underneath utilities, therefore removing that responsibility or placing somebody in strategic development with that Williston Fiber goal. So that was my thing. To me, it made sense legally if we ever got challenged over it, that if utilities was making a decision and something went wrong, they would not be following the directions of another department head or another supervisor that had no certifications in that area. I do believe in what Meredith said, that, yeah, Alex is expected to be in the field supervising, doing the things he's supposed to be doing, because that is what he was doing. Yet there are things in gas, as y'all know, now you're hiring another assistant, that requires a lot of record keeping and a lot of inspections. I mean, nobody shows up and inspects our utility grid other than we do unless something happens. Nobody shows up and inspects our parts and things like that. However, in the responsibility that that Donald has is there are inspections that will occur, and there are issues that do come up that inherit that kind of focus of attention. So I hope that answered your questions. It was not my expectation for him to stay in the office 100%. Was there a vision, like I said, one day down the road to create a Department of Strategic Development? Yes, and that person would have worked closely with planning, and that person could have actually also worked very closely with Williston Fiber, because all that runs together. The planning with the development and the fiber and all that stuff, but they would still all be independent of each other, answering to Jonathan Bishop. And once again, I go back to say that when I left, no other supervisor was in charge of each other, and in the absence of Jonathan Bishop, they would then bring their questions to me.
Okay, thanks. So, my understanding of what you're saying is, even though Mr. Barber does a lot of administrative work, that his work should also be or will be in the field at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's just not strictly administration.
No, it is absolutely not administrative. I mean, he is in charge of gas and water. If we have a gas issue that's significant, I expected him to be there. If we had a water issue, main break, I expected him to be there. And he was. To his credit, he came to those scenes and helped resolve those issues. So, yes, it is not exclusively administration. Just like Mike Miller is not exclusively administration, even though he has a lot of work in planning and development in developing electrical grids and electrical layouts for houses and subdivisions. Same thing there. Like I said, Parks and Recs, not quite as much. It's obviously, one of the more simpler departments. It is our step-in area for the utilities department, where we bring in people and they step into our doorway a lot of time in those streets and park positions and move through the ranks within the utility department.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any other questions or concerns? No. So I guess we just need to make a decision or give Ms. Sue our thoughts on title based on what Mr. Pillard has said, and she can make her decision. Yes, Ms. Wright.
Can you just ask Donald how much administrative work that he does do during his daily working week? Donald, how much administrative? You do about what? 80%? I'm asking for.
Can you come to the mic, please?
How much percentage of your work is administrative?
Probably about 80-85%.
Mr. Bishop,
Yes, ma'am.
did you have something to say?
My thoughts and belief is just to leave it as it is. Leave it as is.
And mine is I agree with everything Meredith said. So I guess that's the way I feel about it too.
So then if we're putting him in an administrative position, does that come along with the raise? You have to think about that as well.
No.
I didn't say you're asking. I'm making the statement that.
I think he's already in the administrative position and he's going to get the raise like everybody else.
And I agree with also with everything that Terry said. I mean, I guess that the title and, the hierarchy and the structure to protect us against any concerns of liability that Terry, thought out so clearly and discussed so clearly, keep that in place. I think that's a critical piece of the puzzle. And then, but I do think if for some reason we had to replace Mr. Barber, that we would want to make sure that whoever came in understood that it is that the 85% administrative. Those are two very different tasks.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody who's in the field supervising staff is a very different job than administrative. So it's important to have clarity for the future.
So then should we change every supervisor's position to administrative because they're doing administrative duties as well?
I don't think so because they are in the field.
But they're doing administrative stuff as well.
Only
Terry
because,
just said
only
so.
is because of their supervisory position. I mean, you can ask Mike is here. I don't know what percentage of his is administrative. The others aren't here. But no, I don't.
Right,
think that's
they are
necessary.
working supervisors. He is not, but he probably should be, right? Because that's what was just stated. He should be doing both, not just one. Yes, Mr. Bishop.
I would say that if going down that road, the ratios wouldn't be the same. They are doing some administrative work, absolutely, but not to the degree that he is. So I would say they would stay supervisors and he would stay in his title that he's in now.
And also, as Mr. Brevard said, or at least the way I understood him, if it's not correct, he could correct me. I understand that he had the supervisor of field operations reporting to the public works administrator.
The public works supervisor.
No, administrator. And then all the other supervisors were standalone, but then they all reported to Mr. Bishop. That's the way I understood it.
Is that the way you said that, Mr. Brevard? Because that wasn't my understanding.
He's off right now.
He's gone. Okay. All right. So
Hang on,
let's
Terry.
make
Recently,
a
I was
decision.
actually recently emailed to ask for a chart, and that's exactly how.
All right, he's back.
All right. Thank you. I'm not sure what happened, but the whole goal, like I said, regardless of titles, is that the organizational components of each separate utilities, the gas, the water, the sewer, I mean the whole 9 yards, plus parks and all that had specific guide rails up to operate in that fashion, that if a decision was made, it wasn't somebody making a decision out of another area that didn't have the knowledge and licensing of those areas. And streets and parks, although it's not that critical, when you come to electrical and gas, you don't want Mike Miller making a decision that involves something with the gas, and you don't want Mr. Barber making a decision when it comes to something with electric. That basically you have your licensed professionals in the areas that you're paying them making the decision, and you have that way, so when something happens, you're in a better position of defense if there's any litigation in the future. And that was the key goal.
Okay, thank you. So what do you want to do? Can I have consensus?
I say leave it.
I second that.
Mr. Fox? Ms. Meredith?
I agree as long as the structure or chart. Yeah, thank you. Remains the same.
All right. So, Ms. Sue, what will your decision be?
I'll leave it as is, Public Works Administrator.
Okay. Anything else about the budget related to the budget?
On the staffing plan, page 7. Utility service of water.
Little 7 or big 7?
Little 7.
Yeah.
Are we going to just leave? Is Mr. Miller still with us? Not that Miller. Zachary Miller.
I saw that he was still here.
Because he's listed on the plan. I'm just wondering, are we just going to leave, just take his name out, and then just leave that position open? Because you plan to
You
bring
can
somebody on, right?
Yes, and you can actually have
Under-
Stephen lower the
underwater.
salary to the introductory if you like.
Okay.
Go back to the
Underwater.
basic like the trainees.
Okay.
GIS
Thanks.
specialist. Is he still
And
here?
remove the 3%, or we're gonna leave the 3%?
Is he still here or is he gone already?
No, I just told Mr. Cox because he was asking. That position can go down to the base rate of the $16.91, and it doesn't need a 3%.
Are you sure? How can you get someone to do that for that amount?
Well, it's a range. I mean, you have your range. So if they come in with certs or qualifications, they would be offered something higher. But there's no reason to plan for that if we don't know what the candidate. And it was the council, I believe, that requested that if we had an open position, we advertise at the base rate. If we get someone more qualified, that's great. But we should plan on it being an introductory position.
Correct.
Chances are it may be somebody internal, right? So they would take their salary with a raise, and then their position would go back to the $16.91. So either way it works out, it would be better to have that at the lower rate.
Anything else? Anyone else?
Most of mine we've talked about already, but I'll check.
I've got another one if you guys are ready.
Yes.
Yes,
Go
ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, so big 9, little 5. Under community development, the city planner. Of course, we need to take Laura Jones's name out. She's no longer with us. I just gave you guys tonight a proposal from JB Pro. And I'm just looking for some guidance here from the council as to how you would like to proceed. But we can certainly advertise for a city planner, like we talked about. It's going to be difficult to find one because, again, there's multiple municipalities that are looking for one. Our other option is to outsource this to JB Pro. The proposal that you have in front of you would be a piggyback off of Levy County, so it would work pretty much exactly the way Levy County did it. Levy County had someone who was their planner, went to JB Pro, and then ended up being a planner for the county through JB Pro. So we could do the same sort of thing here, and Kathy Eba from JB Pro is here to answer questions. Obviously, this isn't something we can decide tonight. She could come back at the council meeting next Tuesday to more thoroughly go through this, but I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts as to whether or not you wanted to even advertise it and try, or go with JB Pro, or do both simultaneously. I'm open to either.
I would like to go with JB Pro for this reason. We have 2 other positions that granted people have moved over to. That's another position that we've got to get somebody in to train. And if planners are that hard to get, they're familiar with us. Comprehensive plan, we're working with, and there was another one too, that planning itself. So it'd be kind of like we've hired somebody that is experienced, already into us, as far as knowing what's what. And down the road, maybe somebody will come in that, would be a planner for us for down the road. But I just think we got to get it settled a little bit.
Miss Kathy, could you come to the mic, please?
Sorry, Kathy. Put you on the spot a little bit.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello. So, what will be the price or the cost?
So the way a piggyback works is that we would use the contract that we have with Levy County for similar services. And the way the Levy County services work, originally we did it on a per hour rate. And then we have recently changed it where they have, where it's a standard rate depending on what the service is and what kind of application it is. So if it's a zoning, if it's a unity of title, that one just happens to be on top of my head. I don't know what that is. If it's a unity of title, there's one rate for that. If it's a zoning application, there's another rate for that. If it's a comprehensive plan amendment, there's another rate for that. The way a piggyback works is that we agree to honor the rates that we have with the jurisdiction that you're piggybacking on. You can piggyback on a contract if it has been competitively bid, which is the Levy County proposal was competitively bid. We submitted an application and were selected by Levy County. So your agreement on a piggyback is that you're going to use the contract. Our agreement on the piggyback is that we will honor the conditions under which that contract was utilized. And that, so it's a piggyback. You're piggybacking on the existing contract. We can't change the rates. We can't offer you different rates. We have to honor the rates as they were established by the contract that you're piggybacking on. This is this kind of service we do. We don't only do it for Levy County. We also do it for the town of Interlochen. And we're in discussions with another jurisdiction to do services for that jurisdiction as well. Planners have become harder and harder to find. We are partners with a lot of our local jurisdictions. We try really hard to do good work. That Mr. Cox, the other plan that you're thinking about is that we wrote the downtown master plan. So we started with the downtown master plan, working with you. Since then, we are working on the comprehensive plan. Land development code would be next. We work really hard to earn your partnership, and so this would be another service that we would provide you, and we would do it based on the existing contract that we have with Levy County with the existing rates. And those rates would then, I know the way the Levy County does it is that the applicant pays the plus of 3%. So they pay whatever, they raise their rates. So we get a portion of it, and a portion of it goes to Levy County to cover their administrative costs as well. So it's not all coming to us. And then there's some jurisdictions that do it where they have a base rate that goes to the local jurisdiction, and then whatever the consultant's fee is, the applicant pays that as well.
So there's no real money coming from or costs for the city.
There is, but the way most jurisdictions do it is they put it to the applicant. The applicant is the one that is paying, not you, which is the way it should be. They're the ones who are incurring are causing you to have to provide the service. You're providing a service because you need someone to review, you need someone to present, you need someone to work with them on review on the application itself before it ever comes to you to present to Planning Commission, all the rest of it. So that is common. Even when I was in the public sector, there was an application fee, and so the applicants, whether it's being paid through a consultant or whether it's being paid through staff, pays for the service to be provided.
Okay. Any questions?
Yes. And likewise, if the city wanted to change some of our zoning and our ordinances for any reason, then that would come out of the city's pocket.
Right. So the application that Ms. Beaudet asked us to provide for you would provide a range of services. Mm-hmm. It could be CRA work. It could be changes to your code. It could be a study for maybe you want to do something on parks. You want to study parks. This contract that we provided to Ms. Beaudet would provide a range of services, right, so that you could hire us, which you have done many times. We also did we also updated your maps a few years ago. I think that was our very first contract with you. We actually digitized your maps and took them from a paper-based map to a GIS-based map. So we can continue to do all the services that we have done for you. We would just do it under this contract
guess my question would be that we would, some would be simply passed through from people directly through us to, and would be at no cost to us. But I do think we should budget a certain amount every year for the city to be able to use their services, so that it didn't have, maybe above a certain amount it comes to the council, so that we didn't have to, address every single little thing at a council meeting.
And that was going to be my next question. How do we budget for this
Well,
if we don't know?
we've got Laura's salary up here right now. So even if we budgeted, left that there, just as a start at least, it would kind of give us an idea of where we're going. And that would be one of my questions is at our next meeting, I see we have a copy of the contract with Levy County, but can you give us a copy of the variable hourly rates? Or
Yes.
are they set rates?
Yeah, we have
Of each?
So we have an hourly rate for each staff person, and I can that should be a part of the Levy County contract, but I can make sure that you
it's
have
not
that.
here. Yeah.
Okay, I can make sure that you get our and that contract was just recently signed. It was signed this year, so it's using the 25 year. The other thing that I would like to mention is one of the benefits that our jurisdictions have found working with us is they're not just getting a planner. They're getting, our staff is now a staff of 8. You're probably aware, but Laura is coming to work for us.
I am. I don't know about anybody else, but I am.
So Laura would work with you as well as myself. The two of us have worked very closely, but Nick Hill has also worked for the city. We have 2 planners who are both very good at GIS. Nick Hill is also very good at GIS. We have a GISP planner who worked on your maps. That is John Gilreath. And we have Tara Howell, who came from Levy County, also works for us. She also worked for Gilchrist County for a while. So we have quite a few rural-based planners, but we have other people besides just one person. So you're not getting just the technical person of Laura. You're getting all of the experience that goes behind the scenes, and so we can provide you whatever the service is. And we also have 2 interns from the University of Florida who are excellent young planners.
So, not necessarily, I don't think for you, but we have our planning zone administrative assistant that was for Laura. What happens to her and her duties if we're hiring?
So I can explain how we do it with Levy County.
Still need her, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a question I want to know.
Yeah, so that person is actually really important for us because so the way we do it in Levy County, we have a dedicated line that we can answer any questions, and we typically have a day. Tara is their project manager, so Tara will set aside time every week, sometimes every day, to make phone calls to the applicants or the constituents who have questions about their property. But it's that person in the office that helps make those connections to us. It's that person in the office that helps us make sure that things are moving smoothly, because we're not here located in the office. Tara does do some and can do some in-office hours. So if you wanted us to be here in the office, we can arrange for ourselves to be here in the office. But having somebody in the office who can help connect and help coordinate is really important.
Okay, thanks. I just want to know what would happen to her position if we hired you guys.
Yeah,
It
no,
would
having
go away,
Nikki,
or
having Nikki is really, I mean, we've obviously, we've worked very closely with Nikki for the last 3 years, and having Nikki still be here would be vital to making sure that things work well and went smoothly.
Okay. And I'm sure it would actually would make less time for your people.
Yeah, I
for
mean,
her to do part of it.
Especially because Nikki is just phenomenal,
Right.
and she's so knowledgeable. There are some questions that she may will ask without having to pass them to us. So, having Nikki on staff is really important.
Yeah.
I think Stu can talk about that. We had a meeting last week to talk about how level this would work, and Nikki was in the meeting and understood that her role would still be very important to passing information to us.
I mean, just as an aside, I mean, Nikki's running the planning and zoning meeting across the hall right now. So we really don't want to. We need her. Yeah, we really do need her.
Yeah, I wasn't asking to get rid of her.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
asking because, you know, if we're hiring somebody, what does that mean for her?
Yeah, no, she's very important, and she also would be, so she would pass the information to us, but then we would pass it back to her. She would be the one who would organize the meetings. She'd be the one organizing the agendas, doing all the administrative work. You know, we want to be a partner with you. We're not looking to do this in a way that goes beyond what your needs are, and having Nikki really helps cut down on what your needs would be, and gives us a partner to work with here. Okay. Are there any other questions?
Thank you.
We appreciate the trust that you've placed us in the past, and we continue to look forward to working with the city of Williston. You're very important. You've heard me say, I don't call you a client because we don't look at you as a client. We look at you as a partner that we work with in our planning services, and we appreciate the trust and support that you continue to give us. And we will do everything we can to make sure that we continue to earn that trust.
Thank you. And I know I've said to you before, and I'll say it again, that people hear it again. I've known a lot of planners in my time, and I've served on regional planning councils that were 5 counties, and I did that for 9 years, and I was even their president. And you're the best planner I've ever known. And I've seen you plan subdivisions, and the ideas that you have, even for Main Street, everything is Williston, and that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, this is a very important community to us, and we just appreciate the ability to continue this service. And, of course, you know, we look for Laura to continue to be able to have a relationship. This community is very important to her. So I'm glad that the two of us will continue to be able to provide services for the city. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it next Tuesday because I will be out of town celebrating my parents' 60th wedding anniversary.
Cool. Congratulations.
That's wonderful. She's not going to be here either.
Yeah. So nobody's coming?
Yeah. Just us, I guess. You're not going to be here either? You're going to be in
She's
Chicago.
not going to be here. That's what I was like, nobody's coming,
right?
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Sue?
I guess the last thing, if you want to talk about this now, is the email that I sent you guys this afternoon regarding the union proposal. So Kim and I met with Dallas Lester and with Lisa Burke from the union this afternoon, and basically this one pager can be surmised to say that they are looking for a raise of 7% effective October 1st of 2025. This is their ask. So put it back on the council.
Too late. There you go. How about that? We're in the 3rd budget workshop. We're just hearing this. I mean, that was my reaction when I saw it. How can you walk in here and ask for a 7% increase or a 4% increase over what we're already giving you when we're in our 3rd budget workshop and we've already advertised and everything? I just don't know.
But is that ask adding what we're giving to make 7%, or is that 7% on top of the 3%?
Total. So if you guys were going to give 3 across the board, this would be an additional 4%.
What are they willing to give up to get that 7%?
And we can't give it to some without giving it to all.
And it's going to
state
open a can of worms all the way across the board.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I understand. Just doing my due diligence.
You know, if this was, I would say, like Debra said, this is our 3rd meeting. We'd heard this on the 1st meeting.
Before we set the millage rate.
We should have heard it in April. Before we started budget calculations, because Stephen starts April, May. Even before it came to us, they should have had this request. I just think it's too late. I mean, it's even dated August 26th right here on the paper. Not like it's been delayed somewhere. Is there anybody here from the union to speak? Oh. Are they online anywhere?
Yes, hello. My name is Devin Hindenline. I work for the city of Williston, the supervisor, and I'm VP of the union.
What do we need to know?
Yeah, forgive me. This is my first time speaking in any sort of capacity for the city or even as a union. I would have to consult my notes and get back to you with what we did ask for and what we agreed to, and in our asks. But yes, that is my position at the moment. I can't give you bear with me. What we did ask for, it's not true. I don't want to provide you the correct information. But yeah. So if there's anything else I can answer, I'm willing to do that.
When you had your meeting, was that recently? Or was it a while back?
That was today.
Oh, you had the meeting today.
That was our first meeting.
Okay. Well, that's in my book. That's just sorry. I mean, if you had a couple of months ago and the union held it up, that would be one thing to even consider. But
the reason today was our first meeting, the city manager requested documentation from our union rep, and it took our union rep a little bit of time to get it to her, but that information was requested maybe only 3 weeks ago. I can't be completely accurate with the information because I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, we did try to make an appointment for negotiations much sooner than this month, even last month. I do believe we did request for one back in April.
So this one page related to wages, is all of this new?
That was everything we asked for today.
But is it in your contract currently? Any of it in your contract currently?
There are some changes, but it's not extremely different from what is currently in the CBA.
and highlighted last year.
Was highlighted last year.
Yeah, look at the data.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this. But has the union reps actually been here to talk to, like he's presenting, but to be here to represent them and explain what's their theory on the raises, like that. I just don't recall seeing them to come here. They're reps. And this gentleman's up here, which I understand your nervousness and not having that. So,
I think the local union reps have been here. I mean, Mr. Lester and
right, I know they are, but I mean the local people.
Right, but not the rep himself, herself. I guess her. Yeah, I've never met her.
Yeah, I've just never seen them, and it's the guys that come up and then they're doing all the fighting.
I mean, I've met with her several times, but it's always about individuals, not about the contract. This is the first time that we met, and you're right. I did stall because I was asking for some information from Lisa Burke, so that initial conversation was probably about a month ago. But still, it was not April. It was maybe July, sometime in July.
And she just got you the information.
Well, this this information today. What I asked her for originally, it took a few weeks for her to get that information. Yes, so that's it. But again, it was not months. This is maybe last month we're talking about.
Well, I guess prevent future maybe we should have deadlines. That changes. Doesn't impact the budget.
I know we told them April before.
And to be fair, I mean, that's the conversation that I had with Terry before he left, is that we had to get any changes in by April. I couldn't find that in writing anywhere today, but that was what I was told by Terry, is that it had to be by April.
And that, I believe at that time, and that wages were the only thing that could be open.
That is correct.
And that we should have them before by April. That's my recall.
How many union employees do you have?
How many are currently in the union? Or
Yep.
how many are currently represented by
How
the union?
many current?
Unfortunately, I don't have that information in front of me. I would have to get with our union president or our union rep and get that information back to you. But the CBA does cover all, I believe it's non-exempt employees, regardless of whether or not they are independent or not. And that goes from the airport to dispatchers to public works, even to some employees here at City Hall.
Today, Lisa said that it was 28 employees.
This paper right here says they sent 29 ballots out.
29, okay.
Excuse me, 39.
39.
And I actually visibly counted on our staffing plan 36. So I think that's pretty close. I mean, we may have three that are gone.
That is a very likely possibility.
Yeah, so I counted myself this afternoon, physically counted 36 that I thought would be eligible.
Again, Lisa Quirk told us 28 today, but I don't know where that 28 came
I
from.
don't know who we left out.
We were trying to get a list of those people so that Stephen could put some numbers together for you today, but we were not able to do that. So.
And then how many total employees? Because if we do 7% for union, you know what's going to happen. It's going to come back. Right. I know it's going to be across the board, and it's. I'm sorry, this is last minute deal doing. I just can't see us reworking the budget. I'm sure Stephen doesn't want to stay here late tonight.
I will tell you that I have a text message right here that says collective bargaining agreement contract requires that they make their request to us by April 1st each year before the budget starts. So, Chief, dispatchers. How many dispatchers do you typically have on at one time?
One.
Just one.
Sometime during the day, too. Just depends on if anybody calls in sick or not. The supervisor's there during the day. But she's currently covering shift because we're one person. We got one person in training. So just one dispatcher.
You have one person in training as dispatcher?
She's a dispatcher, but she's not certified yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting and looking at the meal allowance, and
I can talk to you about that if you want me to.
Please.
Okay.
We need to raise that too.
So our dispatchers work 12-hour shifts. Their meal breaks are doing their 12 hours, so they get paid for their lunch breaks.
Currently.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So I did get a call today from Miss Sue and Lisa about this, and I explained this to her that we only have one dispatcher during the day, so they don't get a meal break, so we pay them their entire time that they work.
They're lucky they didn't go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I've been there where they had to ask somebody to sit for them so they could go to the bathroom. You have to be qualified to answer that radio.
So is this like this is not maybe I misunderstood. I just saw this when I sat down. They're requesting that they actually have their food paid for, not their time paid for. Is that what I'm reading?
That's in the current contract. That's not a change.
This is not a change.
I don't think so. This is a change down here at the bottom. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen it.
That's not even in the contract.
Devin, do you know what that is?
It is.
A change?
It's not in the contract.
It's not in this
It's
contract.
not in the contract.
Oh, okay, so it must be another change they're asking for.
It's probably something new that they want to add. Even though we already do it, they're probably just wanting to add it in there just to make sure that it's there for added protection, I would assume.
So it's not
their meal.
It's not their meal. I guess I'm confused
No.
by the title
No.
of meal allowance. It's
So-
not like a
No.
per diem.
No.
It's that they okay.
Yeah.
So they get paid 12 hours
Mm-hmm.
instead of 11 and a half.
Yes.
Okay.
They only get one.
I'm gonna ask this.
Sure.
Not no judgment.
Go ahead.
But so how do we make sure that they get breaks? How does that work? Because technically they should be working reverse straight, right?
Yeah.
There
Well,
should be a break or something in there. Are they at least getting breaks if they're not getting them?
I would love to have another dispatcher
I'm
to give them a break.
asking.
I would love that. I
That
mean,
would be great. Maybe
that
I
would
can
be
come
great.
and maybe I can come and give them a break.
That would be wonderful.
I'm just asking because I want to make sure that we're not violating anything related to them.
No, they're getting paid for their meal. They
related to labor set.
They have downtime that they take their meal breaks. Even though they're sitting there at the console, and a lot of times during the day, Arizona or Haley will go and relieve them, or they can have a lunch break as well. But they're compensated for the full time that they're on shift. If they get, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but they have time to take a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure.
Yeah. Inside of dispatch office.
Yes. Yes.
Separate from the other. It's very interesting. Poor babies. They don't have to go very far.
Okay.
They take the radio in the bathroom with you.
You
You take it in the bathroom with you.
Don't close the door, right?
Get this stuff. What are you doing? She was gonna say something.
Use Lamar's. Yeah.
So, a lot of the times when they need breaks or even if they want to go get food, they can just call me. I'm PST certified as well. And I'll go work the radio for them. If they need to use the bathroom, if they need to make a phone call, if they need to do anything, they need to go like, hey, I want to go get McDonald's and I would like to go eat with my family member. I don't have a problem. I'm always at the office.
So
Not
that
a
works
problem.
during the day.
Yes.
But at night you still only have one, right?
Only one at night. Only one. Unless you want to give me another one.
Show me how busy you are.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You know, I like to look out for people as well.
The job of dispatch is a unique job because 1 minute you could be sitting there, it's just like being a police officer. One minute you could be sitting, writing a report, the next thing you know, the whole ceiling fall in.
Yep.
So, as far as showing you how busy I am, well, if you look at my Facebook post, you can see how busy we are. So, it's just, it just depends. It's one of those jobs where you can't you're going to have 100 calls this night. You don't know. You may come out and have 5.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Like working in a hospital.
So, related to your, did you want to say something?
I do. I've recently been in contact with Alice Lester, our union president. We did submit the intent to negotiate in March. It was held up for months by the city. The city manager said she would contact Stephen before the meeting today. So what are the results of that conversation? And just to reiterate, the union did not wait until the last minute for today's meeting. It was in the city's hands. It was in the city's hands for months without moving forward.
Okay, so I will respond to that. So again, I did send an email to Stephen asking him to put together 2 different figures for you guys. One was the 7% raise for just the employees that were affected by the union. The other was to do a 7% across the board. And Stephen wasn't able to get a total list of the employees that were covered under the union. And that's why he doesn't have the information for you this evening.
What I can tell you is what it would cost for everybody who's not at the 7% right now. across all the funds, it would be $161,183. That's all, by the way. That's, remember, payroll taxes, pension, all of that would be yeah. So that's just not base rate. That includes everything.
Workman's comp go up as well.
Well, yeah, and and that will go in there a little bit as well. But this number does not include that piece of it because of the nature of workers' comp. You'll actually feel that subsequent years.
Yeah.
But yes.
It's based on the number of employees in certain areas. So, who did Mr. Lester give it to?
Give what to?
He said it was presented in March.
I believe that was an email to the city manager.
Okay.
And
there should be an email somewhere.
I will be completely honest about that. That was before my time as the union vice president, so I would not. This is me going off an educated guess, and the information that I've been given by our president.
Yeah. So the perk. Oh, sorry.
You're good. Sounds great.
So the perk vote didn't get finalized till June. To what was that? Recertify the union. So there's that piece of information. I just thought I'd share that with everybody.
Good point.
What do you have to say, Mr.
Mills, can you search the emails?
Yes, ma'am, I can. I'll look that up.
And what was it that our auditor said we need to watch this year? Big undue expenditures. Reserves.
I was going to actually make a wonderful comment about reserve. It's on my next page right here. Until this. April 1st, that's right.
So this says October 1st. So there's no conversations that are going to be had related to all of this, or is this a conversation that we're doing to decide?
This is the conversation. I got it today.
Yeah. But I'm also looking at the effective date. So I just want to be sure that is there going to be a meeting with you and President, or is it based on what we talk about here?
The meeting was today, and then So I met with him today, and I said I would bring this to your attention today. So then obviously I have to go back and let them know what you guys decide. Yes, we didn't have this information until this morning.
And how long and when did they have it to get it back to you?
Yeah, I don't know. I just got it. Him and I just got it literally this morning.
Mr. Mills, are you looking?
So other than the 17.4, the only other change is going to be 17.1, the initial where it talks about 7%, right? Because everything else is in the contract already. Is that correct? Right. So
I don't know.
Just making sure everybody.
This is the appropriate time, but I do think that paragraph A under 17.1 needs to be clarified. It needs to state that the certifications are on the list. But beating the drum here about the list. To me, the trouble we've gotten into with these certifications is this paragraph has not changed, and it can be read two very different ways. And I actually discussed that with Kiersten briefly, that it can be read two different ways. And I think that needs to be clarified before we agree to this. I don't know if this conversation is appropriate for this.
It's already approved. And then I'm going to say something that's probably not going to be popular at all. But I know with certifications, you have to have certifications and on top of on-the-job training, or correct?
Yes. Now.
So my question is, why are we paying for individual certifications that are done? Say there's 20 different units that they have to cover. We're going to give them $1 for each certification that they complete, and then they have to go and complete the on-job training, and we're going to give them $1 for that. Right? Is that true or not true?
It is true.
And if that's the case, so okay, Kim, I'm coming. Hold on, Mr. Barber. So my question is, why are we paying for all these individual certification if they can't do the job if they don't have one? They can't have one or the other. They have to have them both. So why are we not paying the $1 once they've completed the entire thing? Don't answer that. Hold on. Ms. Kim, did you have something?
I actually have two things. This one, am I good? Actually, I have two things. So the first one with the perk vote, from what I got told, the union initially filed it wrong for February to happen. So no negotiations could have taken place in March because it was not certified. So there's that piece that I wanted to share as well. The certifications were discussed today. They're
discussed with who?
We asked for clarification, basically stating that at least a 40-hour block. We were told no, they're not budging on that. So they said that there's an education form that everybody can sign by the director. It's on the department managers, and correct me, Sue, if I misspeak. It's on the department managers to approve that training, and then on that block it says, does it receive a $1 cert? And then it goes to the city manager. I just found out about this today. I've never seen this form until today.
Oh, no. I've seen it. It's
So-
in that packet that you and I and Sue reviewed.
Yes, but I haven't seen any of them come across my desk with
Well,
that on there.
They came out of their folders.
No, I'm not talking about Miss Debra. I'm saying just in general, I didn't know that form with the $1, approving the $1 even existed until today. So that's what we got told to utilize by the union for the certifications.
Mr. Barber.
Yeah, just to clarify on the certs. So, as mentioned earlier by Mr. Brevard, each thing is on its own. It's a stand on its own. So the procedure that you have for power, the procedure that you have for gas and water and sewer and collections and parks and roads facilities, stormwater, all of those and fiber are all kind of within their own realm. So to answer your question, I think you remember me talking about gas. So there was the online modules, the 93 to 100 and some classes. They don't get $1 an hour raise for that. They have to complete all those, then go and demonstrate it in the field, and collectively all together, that's the $1.
Okay.
So there is no separation between those two. To answer your question further, one of the ways that we're working through this is, and I mentioned this at a previous meeting, is I'm working with HR to, at least in my divisions, to break up what a trainee is. What are the qualifications? What do you have to come in? If you want to get hired in with someone as experienced and be within a range, what is a level 3? What is a level 2? What is a level 1? And a lot of that's dictated by the state. So, for example, in water, if I want a level 1 distribution license, then the only way to get that is you have to have documented through an HR department 5 years of dedicated time specifically for water distribution. And that actually has to be proven and sent in and certified by a licensed operator to the Department of Environmental Protection. So a lot of the licenses aren't things that we make up with timelines that we make up. They're usually generically, you have to have a year of service to not be a trainee. You have to be a year of service or greater, year 1 to year 3 to be a level 3. You have to be year 3 to year 5 to be a level 2, and you have to be at 5 year and above to be a level 1. And if we build those into the job descriptions, there's no ambiguity and there's no question to it. You would clearly see what you had to be in order to get to the next level and how many hours and what would be, required for that. And that's the safest way to do this. And that's what other organizations, county organizations and city organizations that are larger than us do. And that's also how they budget. They budget that range of what's potential for those employees within that budget year to achieve. Because you're going to know. You can't achieve a 5 year if you only have 1 year in. So I would recommend that a lot of departments do that, because it would really fix the problem of questioning what's this and what's legitimate It should be clearly laid out in the job descriptions that no one can contest.
I agree with Donald, and my concern about this is a binding contract with ambiguous language in it. And so it just needs to have something in there that says purchase job description and city policy or something like that. But this is really vague, and it's in many ways created the problem that we're in right now with a lot of certifications and the employees feeling like they're getting certifications taken away from them or not being paid for them. And also, and maybe Mr. Barber can come back to the podium and talk to me just about redundancy, because I do understand that we need some redundancies, on the fringe if we have, say an employee who, if we don't have the right number of employees or the right employee on the clock at the time, that we have people who can cross over and help with some of the jobs. But I personally think that also should be clarified in our policy that, do we need 6 of them? Do we need 2 of them? Do we need 1 of them? Because it affects our budget.
All of it's state mandated.
A lot is and a lot isn't.
So for a couple of the council members that were here 2 years ago, the Public Service Commission sent their report in and testified onto it, and they had talked about how many gas positions we had, how many power positions we had, and that's why we added positions, because they had stated we were insufficient to a safe staffing level. 5 years ago, the electric department consisted of 3 people. Now I believe there's 10 positions, right, Mike? 9 positions. So again, those weren't recommendations that the staff made. Those were reports that came from the Public Service Commission. So to your point, that's absolutely true. There is a certain level. Wright Pierce is in talks right now with us to produce a staffing plan, and they would propose that as something if you wanted them to do. But Bill Young, who's part of Wright Pierce, has talked with me about coming up to you guys and saying, we've done this for other places. We would go in and do a staff analysis by department as to what the proper staffing levels would be, and they would make recommendations to you. And included in that would be, if you have 10 employees in a division, what level of certification should they have and how many of them you should have. I really would encourage you guys to do that from an outside perspective as opposed to trying to figure that out internally.
Aaron has info.
Aaron,
Well, actually, I don't have what you're asking for because I can't do that from here. And that will take some time to go search the archive and find that. It's not that quick. I can bring that back to you.
Okay.
I just can't give it to you right this minute.
So yeah, I guess, we really do need some clarification on license and or certifications. I know what Mr. Barber has said, but I just want to be sure that we're doing exactly that, giving the dollar once the entire training has been.
Didn't we talk about that a couple of weeks?
We have.
About 2 or 3 weeks? And that there was a
But
form.
It's
To be trying to figure out how much money to give them.
But it doesn't say it. It's kind of vague still.
And we still don't have a list. Like, I haven't seen a list of the certifications from.
They gave us a list.
Okay, so a couple things. So first and foremost,
No, sorry. Explain it. Not a list of the certifications of the employees, but the required, like, under each department.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Right.
Okay, so Kim and I did talk about this, like she mentioned. We did talk about this certification paragraph here today when we met with the union. And again, we went back and forth with different things like the 40 hours and different things. But again, these are things that we're going to negotiate for next year's. This was just really about wages and that sort of thing. But that is something we can discuss in our this expires September next year, September 30th next year. So we can definitely get clarification on that if we want more clarification. I have asked the staff, all of the department heads, to come up with a list of certifications. I have all of them except for 2 at this point. So I'm going to put all those together. We're going to work on some redundancy, whatever the department heads feel is redundancy, at least for now. But I hope to have that by the end of the week for you guys. So, yeah, first.
Okay, now we're back to the.
I just think we're opening ourselves up for it's either do it all or nothing. And if we, Mr. Blue, $100,000 and some odd, where would we get it?
Can I say that when the police department wanted 7%, we told him to cut his budget so we could find it?
Actually, he came to us.
I know,
If
but
I'm
he
not
already
mistaken,
cut his budget.
You had it all.
He cut all his cars out in order to manage that.
Yeah, let me be careful how I say this because I don't want anybody to get upset.
You just want him to get upset with what we think.
Yeah. The 7% that we asked for, I went through the budget, identified a way to make that happen. And I'm not against anybody else if they want to do the same thing. But I understand that the union's wanting the 7%, and if we can afford it, I support it 110%. But until then, if we can't, I don't want it to turn into the police department versus the city or the union, because we took steps to accomplish what we needed to accomplish within our budget, and our budget still came in 1.2%. I think it is even lower than it was the year before. So it's a process that we all can do. I mean, so I just don't want that to be held against us because we took that step to do that. We sacrificed. We gave up some stuff, which is okay, because it's something that needs to be done.
But not only that, we're still going to increase your budget again by the amount by 4% for you guys. So not only do you have a 7%, now you have 11%.
Instead of
his is already 7.
No,
Correct.
We gave him 3, and he found 4
We wouldn't
inside
give
of his
him any
budget.
more.
His department is still getting 7%.
Yeah, but we wouldn't give him another 7.
No, we wouldn't, because it would increase by 4% if everybody already has 3.
Oh, you need to do that.
So if we're giving them 3, and we increase theirs to 4, we have to increase everybody's to 4. That's another 4%. We're looking at 11%.
But we wouldn't have.
Let me write it down.
I understand.
Oh, okay. But like you don't understand what I'm saying.
But we wouldn't have to do that.
But we do it.
He got the 7% gives him what he needs.
If we have to do it across the board,
He still got his 7%.
but we still can't leave him out because we're doing it across.
We gave him 7%.
No.
We did. Okay. And that's what he
Yes,
asked for.
yes, Miss Kim.
So when the union proposed this to us, we basically got told we have open positions and that's where the money's coming from. And then I stated we plan on filling those positions. Where's the money coming from then? They told us to figure it out. Pretty much.
Don't you have something to say?
I don't think we can do anything until we get information from Mr. Mills about whether he actually finds this email.
My thing is,
And
in
what the
all
email
honesty,
says.
I feel like we're being snowballed.
I agree
This
with
is
Mr.
the last
Cox.
minute. This is and nothing against you guys. You guys know I've always had you guys back. But I feel like this is a last minute thing on the union's part to force our hand to do this. And I don't like it. We got enough heat on us.
Yeah.
With citizens over budgets and this and that.
And last year, when there was the clerical error and the 0.5%, we did not argue. We went ahead and gave it to everybody across the board as a gesture of generosity. Yeah. So, I'm not saying that that shouldn't have happened, but we have had their back in the past.
Can anybody, manager or VP, how did the 7% come about? What was the reasoning or thought process behind that extra 4% increase? And if this is going to be 7%, is it 7% every year, or is it still 3%? But this year you're asking for
No, ma'am. It was a negotiation tactic, and our intent was to match what we needed. Not necessarily the same way they did it, but yes.
So there's our answer.
There's
This did
our
not
answer
happen
right
in
there.
April. This
Right.
happened since the chief brought his budget forward.
And I actually do have the email from Mr. Lester. The email was sent March 13th. March 20th.
And what does it say?
The letter of intent states, as the sole and exclusive bargaining agent with respect to wages, hours, and working conditions, and other conditions of employment for full-time employees of Local 2293, hereby demands to bargain over the terms and conditions of the successor agreement to the current collective bargaining agreement for the reopener. It goes on to state that the union is available for following dates and times. Please contact as soon as possible. Phone number, email, address.
It didn't say in the mail.
No, it did not.
Right. To be clear, again, I did not get an amount until today. Yes, we've been talking about negotiating for a little while. But again, like Kim said, we didn't even have the union vote until June, so we couldn't do anything during that time. But again, we did not receive a figure until today.
Yes, Ms. Kim.
You can't negotiate with something that hasn't been certified, and they failed to certify they failed to comply with the February thing. So after February, even if the letter was sent in March, we could not negotiate with an uncertified union. So the negotiations would not have happened whether we received the email or not because they were not certified by PERC.
And I would just say, if all the steps were followed, we wouldn't be discussing this now because we would have had this discussion in our first round.
Right.
So now we're just spinning our wheels. So we just need to decide we can do it. Let's do it. Let's
answer it.
So, not with what Mr. Bloom has told us, what the auditors have told us. I don't see where we can do it.
I agree with Mr. Cox. Ms. Jones?
Me too.
Definitely.
Can't do it.
I guess it's a consensus that we cannot effectively do a 7% at this time. I think we're all good with the 17.4, the meal allowance going into effect. But the 7%. Anything else? Ms. Jones, you have nothing further? I don't.
Can I shift gears for a moment?
I wish you would.
Okay. So, on page big 9, little 5, Councilmember Selena Levy, as you know, her last day with the city is next Wednesday.
So you're in the standing point.
So she's currently in the staffing plan. I guess we should take her name out of that. I guess I just wanted to, again, just make sure that you guys wanted to proceed with filling her position, look at the salary, any questions. Well, Selena's still here, and we can ask her questions.
Can't not have a billing and accounts manager.
I agree. I agree. I'm just, again.
And if she's intent on leaving, we got
she is
to do
salary.
something.
Yes, she is salary.
Is there a base salary
Her current
for her position?
Her current base is around $30 an hour, and I would recommend keeping that the way it is. For the responsibility that she has, her position has.
Miss Selena, can you come to the podium, please?
No. Shelter manager. Yeah. You want to be the shelter manager?
No. Hi. What was, if you don't mind, telling us, what was your base salary when you initially started? How long have you been here?
I've been here a little over 4 years, but I worked my way up pretty quickly. They hired me just as a billing person. It was a utility billing specialist. I then took over managing customer service, and then we brought AP in-house. it was something that Steven's team did. So we brought, and they used to have a person here. That person left. They didn't refill that. So I took on a little bit of that responsibility and overseeing accounts payable. So, I mean, I don't remember what I was hired at, but it wasn't near what I'm making now.
Okay. And you also ended up getting more collateral duties?
Yeah, I mean, I took on a lot more.
Okay.
So I do all of the utility billing, a lot with work orders, and then overseeing customer service, that their manager, supervisor, and then the supervisor for accounts payable and overseeing, making sure that that's being done correctly. I don't remember everything. I mean, I've only gotten, like the 3% we got last year, and I think the year before we got like $1. So, I mean, not much less than what I'm making now is when I became the accounts manager. I'm not making much more now than I was when I first got that role. I mean, and I would say for the duties that I do, you're going to have to keep it similar in order to get somebody that is willing to do what I do.
Can I ask a question? Sure. If you were staying, I wish you would, but if you were staying, what role would you play in Williston Fiber, if any?
I don't think I would really have much other than just what would come in through customer service. Right. That would be the only thing I would think that I would do with Williston Fiber, just because that's what your new admin position would be doing more of the admin stuff with that. I don't have much even with Cowling right now. I mean, we do take payments and I process the payments and make sure it gets to the bank. That would probably be the only thing still I would do with Williston Fiber.
Oh, great.
Do we have any anybody interested in your position?
Yes.
Is that person here?
Yes.
Okay. Who might that person be?
Megan Shockley.
Okay. So you have utility billing, accounts payable, customer service, and what was the other?
Work orders. Because customer service creates the work orders, goes back to utilities or wherever it needs to go, and then it comes back to me to make sure they get closed out. And then for any billing purposes, it would have to go through me to put on utility bills.
And you oversee the customer service area?
Yes.
Thank goodness.
So,
I remember when you did.
So what part of the work order can be delegated back to the administrative?
A majority of it, as far as making sure that they are stayed on top of and get closed out in a timely manner. They could close them out, but still anything to do with any type of billing would still have to come back through my office. Yes.
Okay. Which makes sense because it's part of it. Okay. Miss Sue.
Yes, ma'am.
What's in her job? We kind of already talked about the work order. What in her job as accounts manager can be removed? Can we remove the customer service management piece to that? And
you don't want to unless you got somebody else. I remember it before she did it.
Well, let me finish. Would there be someone else who could maybe manage the customer service aspect of duties? How much
it
duties
goes
are
hand in hand with utility billing.
Does it?
I would tell you that probably 95% of the calls that come in are to do with utilities, utility billing, or an issue, with their utilities that would tie back to billing for sure. I mean, I don't see why you would take that away from that person.
I can't really think of another department head that would.
It wouldn't
fall under.
No.
And we've had others before. I know at one point the city manager tried to do it.
Yeah,
and Latricia also did it for a while.
I mean, and not only is customer service answering the phone and creating work orders, they're taking all the money in. So they're taking all the money. That's what my job is too. I make sure everything is processed correctly. I update, financial stuff and get that money to the bank and everything else. So I'm working hand in hand with customer service on a daily basis.
Okay.
So it just really wouldn't make sense to remove it from.
I mean, I wouldn't know if I didn't ask questions.
I understand.
So
that's why I'm here to answer.
Yeah, because I've seen her back there. I mean, she deals with customers too. And when it comes to their bill and so forth, you make the decision on paying half this month and half next month.
Right.
So the person's got a lot.
But since it's going to be an open position, I think we should go back to the base, whatever
that's what I'm asking.
Whatever it is. I don't think it needs to be a $10
$10
bill.
That's why I asked the question.
Okay, so let me hypothetically, let's say Megan does not want the position and you're going to go hire outside. Do you think that you would find somebody that much less? I mean, I'm underpaid as it is. So when you're going to take the money down, and if you were hiring someone from the outside, do you think that they would come in for that with that responsibility?
I don't know.
For $30 an hour, I think we could get somebody.
30, yes. If she's wanting to take it down.
Yeah, because we're asking about the base. I mean,
Right.
and that's just like any of the other base positions that we have, that if somebody comes in and they have XYZ, then even though that's the base, then their rate we will probably offer them something else. So it's not just that it's the base. I mean, that when we say that that's the amount, that's the amount that we stick with, but
and then you add the experience that she has already to the base.
If you decide to hire her, that's
if
she
it
applies.
was Megan, right.
All right, Mr.
Siegel.
Yeah, Mr. Siegel.
Yes, ma'am. Just like to remind the council, based on the HR manual, that whatever you make the base, we can only go 15% above for a new hire. So if you drop the base way too low, we can only come up 15% without coming back to you.
So we're not saying to drop the base. We're asking what the base is. So we're trying to figure out what the base is.
Understood.
As well. So, I don't know.
So at our next meeting, we need from Kim what the base is for that position.
I have looked and looked and looked. Her job description does not exist in any of her files. I'm currently creating it.
It's because we made it up.
We are working together.
I know, but she should have a classification. I mean, G4, G6.
There's
no, ma'am. I can't find any documentation on this position. I searched emails. I've searched a lot of emails.
There was an old study done years ago. It was called Long and Associates, and it put every class in a grade. I mean, every job in a grade. We used it for years, and we did the CPI to it not long ago. I thought it came up with it.
The last bit of pay grades that is anywhere in that office is from
2012.
Yeah, it's very old. It's
Told you it was old, didn't I?
It's not even minimum wage.
Well, that's what I mean. We added CPI to it.
She's working on
and came up year to year.
So y'all know.
Yeah, I'm looking at different utility companies just to get the job description portion done, because that's kind of very important. And then I'm gonna pull the different salaries, because I know we're not competitive with Ocala because of our size. So I got to look into municipalities to roughly about our size to pull that data from, to come with a figure that, one, we can afford, and two, we could draw somebody in with that figure based on the job description.
And remember, we just, on the shelter manager, we bumped that up because we were afraid we wouldn't get anybody.
That's probably $16.
So
that's true.
This one's currently 30. We don't want to leave it there.
I mean, we can look back and see what it was. I don't remember off the top of my head what it was when I first took over the role, and maybe that's what it is. Looking at that. when I first started. But that's when I first started.
Right.
Right. I was just doing utility bill. Right. Little here, a little there.
So 24, 25 would probably be a good thing.
I would say probably 25, 26. Probably wouldn't be bad.
Just as a starting point. And obviously, if they got lots of experience, it'd be more than that. Right.
And 15% of that's like $3.
Do what now?
Because of the HR manual, if we hire somebody with experience, we can only go up to the 15% off the base pay. So that would only be an additional $3 added onto that.
So if well, that's almost back to where she is.
Yeah, so if you did it like $25 or $26 as the base, and then work from there, I think that would.
If I could hire another her, I'm ready to do that. But
So what dollar amount are we thinking as far as the gap?
I'm sorry.
She said 26.
Keep going, Darfeness. Keep
said,
going.
He said 27.50. What would you say?
I'll go to the 26.
Miss Meredith. Yep. 26. Okay, so we can put the base at 26.
We need to come up with this is just to make you laugh. We need to come up with a weird number because they're like 2607.
2613.
All right. 25.98.
Oh, 2613.
25.98. There you go. I like that.
Is that what you want me to start the base pay out?
Yep.
25.99.
Go 26. Go with 26 and change. What's better? Yeah. Go 26.
Okay, they changed it. So let's say 2610.
2610. There you go.
2610. 2610. Final.
Is that your final answer?
She's trying to take notes still here.
And I'm trying to get it done. All right, 2610 is the base. All right. Anything else we have?
Yep, good news.
I think that's all I had for tonight.
That's a lot.
I know. Sorry.
Okay. Anyone else in the public? Anyone else on staff?
Did we finalize code enforcement and animal control coming to the PD? Is that finalized?
I thought it was.
I didn't have any questions, so I guess we did.
What page is it? So we can look at it.
The animal control officer is on page 5.
No, I mean in the budget itself, like the breakdown.
I noticed Stephen already.
Like 28.
Stephen already put it in my budget.
Yeah, it just moved.
Yeah,
it's the same. It just moved.
So it's in PD.
Yeah, it's in PD.
Stephen, we still balanced?
Surprisingly, yes.
So big 33, little 29.
Actually, we gave him a little bit back.
Big 33. Yep, big 33, little 29. Well, I guess the question, Chief, is are you good with this? I mean, is this what you were envisioning when you originally wanted to take animal control and code enforcement?
Yeah, me and Stephen went over these numbers, so we were pretty comfortable with them, right, Stephen?
Yes, he actually has. There's a couple line items he's got that a little bit of cushion, not much, but just a little bit.
All right. If there is nothing else from staff, anything from council?
How's your cameras coming along, Chief?
Where's BJ go?
She left.
I think the permits are all done, so hopefully beginning of next month they should be up and running.
Good. So yeah, you're the other day I was coming down 4th going home, and let me tell you, there's some bus drivers that's got some lead feet.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
flying down that road.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Now there was no
Oh, yeah.
kids.
They will?
yeah. Also the
Send them to take it too.
yeah, the drone, the grant for the drone that I put in for
Hold that thought. We're not in that portion yet.
Oh.
I was just asking if anybody else had anything related to the budget.
All right, we're good.
All right, so if nobody has anything related to the budget, this is our second attempt for public participation. You have 5 minutes to speak. Anything that was not on the agenda. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Seeing none, now we will go.
Okay, so I talked to you guys about the $25,000 grant for a drone. I'm happy to say that we were awarded $25,000 and we are moving forward with purchasing the drone. It is a cash advancement, so it will not cost us anything. They will, once I send the paperwork back, they will send us the money. Stephen will take it, and then we will pay for the drone. So no money out of pocket for us, and I think it'll be a great tool.
What else can we use the money for besides the actual drone?
Training.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Thank
you. We're going to partner with, everybody's doing this. I mean, everybody's putting in for this grant, and they're getting it. Marion County, I think, just bought 5, and I think they're actually starting a drone program. So I came from Marion County, reached out, talked to a couple of people, and they're going to invite us to their training. So we'll be training with them, so we'll have some good, capable people. Officer Goodson is also a drone pilot already, and I have Sergeant O'Hara is also a drone pilot. So we have some already that's familiar with the process, so we're super excited about it. I think you're going to see it's going to be a great benefit to the city of Williston.
And they have their licenses?
Yes. Yep. So I only have to send maybe 2 people to school.
Are there any legalities to having a drone?
All that comes through once they go through the training and get certified, there's FFA requirements and different things like that. But other than that, no. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Anyone else on the council?
We get the clock fixed. I was really excited. It was on like 5:45.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah. Yes, we started at 6 o'clock.
Awesome.
It's one of those things that likes to eat batteries, and we put batteries in it about once a month.
Just a digital,
All right.
nice digital clock.
I move we adjourn. If there's nothing else, we got a motion for adjournment.
He said when I was out. Did you want me to talk about
I can take it back.
I have a motion. Excuse me.
You might want to know about this, Council President, but I'll wait.
I have a motion, and I have a second. I do. Yeah, you're talking.
How was it?
Is there any discussion? You have a discussion?
No, don't worry about it.
Listen, you have to follow the.
Now we're gonna all wonder what it is.
We can talk about it afterwards.
Yes,
we'll talk about it afterwards.
No. We had a motion to adjourn. We had a second. So now I'm asking, are there any discussions?
Not pertaining to the budget, evidently.
Okay. If move to vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Ayes have it 5-0. We adjourn at 7:59 p.m.